Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all my Beast King Barbaros Yugioh deck profile for post-Eternity Code. With the release of Eternity Code, we actually got the new King Beast Barbaros, which is a new version of Barbaros that makes it so you can special summon it and just use all the different destruction effects by utilizing your Beast King Barbaros, the original Beast Warrior type monster we had, which, can be normal summoned, but drastically decreased of its power when you do so, but still have other options with this deck to get out this in the proper method, and also make use of its machine powered variant as well that we got a few sets back also. It's really fun deck. I had a lot of fun putting it together just for the overall play style of it. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for our main monster, I'm running 3 Beast King Barbaros. You can normal summon or set this card without tributing, but its original attack becomes 1900. You can tribute 3 monsters to tribute summon this card, but not set it. And if it's summoned this way, you destroy all cards your opponent controls. So getting those 3 monsters is pretty important to get this card's original effect to work. But otherwise, you can just easily get this card out onto the field, and then, obviously tribute it so you can summon out your next best monster, which we received in Eternity Code for some of your more powerful plays. But nonetheless, you have other ways just to make Barbaros the 3000 attack point monster that you can get out on the field by special summoning it, because otherwise just normal summoning it is what restricts it for its attack plays. Otherwise, if you summon it with other methods, you can still get it out onto the field at its full power. For some of the other monsters, I'm running 3 of the new King Beast Barbaros. Both these monsters are level 8, so you can also utilize your rank 8 plays in the extra deck when you use them. But for King Beast Barbaros, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. You can only use each of the following effects of Beast King Barbaros, or King Beast Barbaros. Definitely going to take some getting used to for that name. You can tribute monsters whose total levels equal 8 or more to special summon this card from your hand. You can banish 1 Barbaros monster from your graveyard or face up on the field, then target 2 cards your opponent controls and destroy them. So only having to banish a Barbaros monster makes it all the better for this card, because then you can just destroy 2 cards, which most of the time I know Barbaros destroys all cards, but it's a little more difficult to get this card, since all you have to do is tribute for this one, and then you have the card you tributed in the graveyard ready to banish for the destruction also. And it has the same exact attack stats as Beast King Barbaros as well, but all the more powerful for just that easy destruction play it can do. And the fact that you can destroy your opponent's back row and not have to worry about the monsters, because most of the time 3000 attack can hit over most of your opponent's monsters anyway, and it can attack each of them once each. So, clearing the field completely with this card is that much easier. But it went up one more step as well for an even stronger play. That's one of our older cards, and that is Beast Machine King Barbaros. You can special summon this card from your hand by banishing 1 machine type monster and 1 beast warrior monster from your hand, field, and or graveyard. If this card attacks or is attacked, your opponent takes no battle damage. So it has 3800 attack, so just another option for another monster on the field for a powerhouse to get over some of your other opponent's monsters. And then if you want to attack with one of your other Barbaros monsters, you have that option. We have to run machine type monsters, which I found one of the most difficult things to figure out for this deck to obviously run. I know that Machine King was the card that basically combined with this card, but it didn't really add much to the Barbaros deck as a whole. So just coming together for other options that you could run in the deck is what made me pick these next machine monsters that you run all together for these plays. But easily just being able to banish them from the graveyard as well is why I also like this card, for the fact that you can banish one of the Barbaros in the graveyard if you've already used King Beast Barbaros, or if you have extra ones to use there, or just being able to have this card out on the field for your other machine options is very useful also. But for the machine monsters, when it came to just setting up the graveyard, I wanted to run 3 Card Trooper. Once per turn, you can choose any number of monsters from 1 to 3, then send that many cards from your top of your deck to the graveyard. This card gains 500 attack for each card sent, and if this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you draw 1 card. So the send can send plenty of the Barbaros monsters to special summon back to the field from the graveyard. The only thing you wouldn't want to send is obviously Beast Machine King, because you have to special summon it from your hand by banishing it for that option as well. But you still have the other special summon option with this card if it is in the graveyard to go for also, since it's not limited for the special summoning. It's just an option to special summon it with your different machine type monsters that you set up. But being able to send them all makes them all special summonable back onto the field. And Card Trooper is a machine type monster, so you can potentially even send Card Trooper with Card Trooper and then have that banish option available to you. But as the final machine monster, I decided to go with Machina Cannon, being a level 8 monster. A machine type monster, that means that you can also summon it onto the field and have your rank 8 play to go into with your other Beast Kings setting up in the graveyard for even more plays. It just added consistency that I didn't even think of just by special summoning, by sending one or more machine type monsters from your hand. So even if you have the additional Machina Cannon in your hand, you can summon this card into the field, and also having the Card Trooper option in your hand to go with also. So as long as you have those cards for the send with this one, you have that option, but also being able to send it with your Card Trooper to the graveyard can just give you the easy banish cost for your Beast Machine King Barbaros which is your main play to go for. That's why I maxed out on the Card Troopers and then the Machina Cannons as well, so you have all those options to go for the play. I thought of, Machina Fortress, but it's a level 7, so the rank 8 plays just don't work together as well as I like it with this one, and then just having Card Trooper for additional plays also. But made for a very interesting and fun combo altogether for the deck. And that is it for the main monsters for a lot of the different plays. For some of the other cards, I'm running 3 Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. I thought of adding some more, machine type monsters just to add in for the plays. If you wanted a little more consistency with the Machina Cannon for the discard, you can put in Machine King which is the card that is fused with Barbaros, as the spot for the Ash Blossom or the next hand trap to give you more machine options in the graveyard. But like I said, it just doesn't add much because it has to be on the field or just, as a banish cost, eating up a card that could just help with some other resources otherwise. But Ash Blossom and also the 3 Effect Veiler are just the final hand trap option in the deck, which I do like to use to stop a lot of my opponent's plays, because the biggest offense of the deck are the Barbaros monsters as a whole, and then you just need these to kind of shut down your opponent's plays, while these cards will take care of attacking your opponent for some bigger plays also. And that is it for the monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. I'm running 2 Spiritual Forests. Each time the first face-up Beast Warrior type monster would be destroyed by battle, it is not destroyed, so just a good way to protect your Beast Kings on the field. All 3 of them are Beast Warrior, even Beast King Machine, Barbaros so this has the option to be shielded with your Spiritual Forest on the field also. So just having that for the battle is a big wall especially, and just having that option. I only like to run the 2 though, because then otherwise it gets kind of cloggy. Can't help you for anything else, since Machina Cannon, he has to discard a machine type monster. You want those additional spots open, but still good to have for sure. And I'm also running the 3 Trade-In. Now, this card especially, if you don't have the additional monsters for Machina Cannon for the discard, you can easily just discard it to the graveyard to draw 2 cards, hopefully potentially drawing into your Beast Machine King Barbaros and then having the card in the graveyard set up for its banish, and hopefully also having the other Barbaros, whether it's on the field or in the graveyard as well, to banish for its effect. Or just needing that draw power to get into one of our more important Barbaros monsters, which is King Beast Barbaros. Like I said, probably the easiest card to summon out in the deck and make full use of all of its effects also. And for some of the other 1-ofs in the deck, I'm running 1 Scapegoat. I'll show a combo at the end of the video that definitely makes full use of Scapegoat and the original Beast King Barbaros for its summon. 1 Monster Reborn. Once you special summon back the Beast Kings onto the field, they have their full power. There's no limitation to special summoning them, so Monster Reborn is a big help there for sure. 1 Foolish Burial for more graveyard setup, especially with the machine type monsters. If I don't hit Card Trooper or Machina Cannon, I want just a quicker way to get them into the graveyard. And 1 Foolish, I was about to say Foolish Burial again, but Pot of Avarice to recycle back the cards into the deck as well. I only run the 1 for the option. It doesn't come up as often just with the amount of monsters we're running, but having that recycle power with the draw power is a big plus for sure, because then I can also choose what stays in the graveyard for other cards also. And to finish off the spells, I run 3 Call by the Grave, just more power to stop my opponent's graveyard monster effects, or even just their hand traps in total, while I can successfully use mine for their special summons. And for the traps, I'm running 3 Horn of the Phantom Beast. You target one beast or beast warrior monster you control. Equip this card to that target. It gains 800 attack. If the equipped monster destroyed opponent's monster by battle and sent it to the graveyard, you draw 1 card. So there was a game where I actually was able to equip it onto Beast Machine King Barbaros Yugioh, making it 4,600 attack. A true powerhouse for sure, being able to get over a bunch of different monsters my opponent has. I wasn't able to deal that much damage, or any at all, because of this card's other effect, but there's one other trap that I'm running that can help with that problem also, but still give you the draw power for your Horn of the Phantom Beast. And I also run 3 Call of the Haunted. I prefer this card to revive them from the graveyard, other than back to the front, for the fact that that would special summon them in defense, while Call of the Haunted will special summon them in an attack position at full power, 3,000 attack. And for the final trap, I run the 1 Skill Drain. You can lose the effects of your King Beast Barbaros with this, but it can put Beast King Barbaros back at 3,000 attack, and also your Machine Beast King Barbaros will be, without its effect. And with Horn of the Phantom Beast at 4,600 power, being able to deal damage to your opponent is the big plus for sure when using this card. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra deck. I run the 1 Landfornicus and the 2 Link Spider. This is for the Scapegoat play, which I will show in just a bit, but you definitely want to run them for that play. I also run the 1 Mrs. Radiant, the 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Underclock Taker, 1 Firefighting Darumidal with the Spiritual Forest. This one is a big help for sure with the face-up cards also in the deck. Also the 1 Borreload Dragon, the 1 Nightmare Unicorn, and the 1 Cross Sheep, just for the rank 8 plays when we do make them. And for the rank 8s, I run the 1 Dingirsu for the send effect. It's really, really good for sure. 1 number 68, 1 number 38, and 1 Heliopolis, just for the other rank 8 options in the deck to go into also. And as for the actual plays for the deck, as I said before, if you have the setup for your 2 monsters in the graveyard for your Machine and your King Beast, you can easily summon out your Beast Machine King Barbaros Yugioh. And then if you have the Horn of the Phantom Beast, you're given a 4,600 attack point monster on the field to attack. And then if you activate Skill Drain, your opponent will be able to take the full 4,600 when they swing into a monster. Most of the time, they'll have no fear when attacking with this card, and they might even be tempted to leave their monster in attack position. But if you activate the Skill Drain, you'll lose 1,000, but then they'll hit for even more damage, since the Beast King Machine monster will no longer be affected with not being able to deal damage to your opponent. And as for the Scapegoat play, the only thing you'll need for this play is the Scapegoat we run, and also 1 of the original Beast King Barbaros. So at the end of your opponent's turn, you will activate Scapegoat, getting you the 4 Scapegoat tokens on the field for you to use. With the Link monsters I spoke of already, you will use the 2 Link tokens to make your Landfornicus, and then the last 2 to make 2 additional Link Spiders on the field. Since you can't tribute the Scapegoats, you'll have these 3 monsters to tribute for your Beast King Barbaros, using 3 monsters for the tribute, and then you can destroy all cards your opponent controls on the field as well, for a very strong and scary play for sure. But obviously the best play is still, at the end of the day, the King Beast Barbaros play, just easily being able to tribute your Beast King Barbaros for your King Beast Barbaros, giving you the tribute power for this card, and then being able to banish the other Barbaros from the graveyard as well for that added play. Or if you have the Call of the Haunted and don't have anything to destroy against your opponent, you can special summon back the Beast King Barbaros onto the field, and if you don't want to use the destruction play, easily can go into any of the rank 8 monsters you run in the deck for those plays also. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. It's definitely a really fun deck to build. I've always thought Beast King Barbaros was cool, and ever since we got King Beast Barbaros in Eternity Code, I definitely wanted to build a deck that focused on it, and then just learning about the Machine King that I honestly forgot about for a good while made it all the more fun to put a deck that utilizes all of these cards together for an awesome build for sure. But I'll still be working on a bunch of other decks from Eternity Code, so definitely look forward to that. But until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.